Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are here to talk about episode 5 of Heated Rivalry. Actually, before we start, can we get a moment for the shirt? I have never given TikTok Shop my money faster than when I saw the shirt for sale. But episode 5, I think I experienced every single human emotion physically possible in this 55 minutes. It was insane, incredible, but such a roller coaster. Let's just get into it because, like always, I have so much to say. Starting off, we have such a blow. We have Rose getting out of bed with Shane and Shane apologizing for last night because he was not performing well. Poor thing. I did get a little secondhand embarrassed, even though it's not embarrassing. It's not. Poor guy is going through it. He doesn't know himself yet. He's coming to terms. But it was just so sad. I was like, oh no, like it's such an awkward situation. Even though we will see it does get resolved in the next scene. Oh wait, but before that they mentioned the All-Star game, and when I tell you I started giggling out loud just at the mention of the All-Star game, I was so excited. Two, the innuendo of Shane and Ilia playing on the same team also just made me giggle the entire episode. I thought it was so funny. Also, one thing I love about this show is how strong the opening of the episodes are and the endings and the montages. Like, they have such a good way of sucking you into the beginning of an episode, like the montage from episode 4, and then also the endings of the episode, last episode and this episode, which trust and believe we will get to. They're just so good at sucking you in and making you invested and making you want to keep watching. Then we get the scene of Shane and Rose, and when I tell you I was sobbing, I'm not exaggerating. I looked, it was 5 minutes and 34 seconds into the episode, and I was genuinely bawling my eyes out. That entire scene with Rose and Shane, I just could not handle it. Also, Rose, I love her. That is a real one. That's my girl. The way she was like, I'm gonna hold your hand when I tell you this, giving Sue Sylvester, only I can tell you what you are, who you are. But Shane's face through that entire scene, it's actually been haunting me. I can picture his faces so clearly right now. So heartbreaking. They are just both going through it so bad, and I just want to be able to tell them that everything is going to be okay and you are going to get your happy ending. But for now, like, we're in the weeds in this scene, and it's so sad. And like, what gets me about his acting is that he looks so scared because he's never been accused like this before. No one's ever said anything to him like this before. So of course he's scared. Like, he doesn't know what she's gonna say after this. Is she gonna be upset? Is she gonna out him? Like, he's busted basically, and you can see he's just freaking out. And in real time, also having to finally admit, no, I don't like women. Like, it's the first time he's really had to fully come to terms with that and reconcile with that and say it out loud. I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. I genuinely could cry talking about it. I also just have such a soft spot for characters or people who discover their sexuality later in life because I just can relate to that. Like, I didn't fully realize or like come out as bi until I was like 23. So any type of storyline like that, I'm like, like, it just gets me. And I liked this scene in the book too when I read it, but I think just seeing it come to life just made it more impactful. It's just executed so well, and it would have been so easy for Rose or Svetlana, which we'll talk about Svetlana later, but it would have been so easy to make Rose or any of the women in this show a villain. And I'm so glad that they don't do that. It's so nice that she's not judgmental and accepting, and you can tell she truly just wants the best for him, and she is just trying to figure him out, I guess. And it's so nice that he finally has someone he can talk to about this. Hello, it's been like 7 years at this point, and he's never had a conversation like this. It's just so overdue to have this conversation, and it's so nice to have someone in his corner. Obsessed. It's such a nice conversation. And I love that that is also mirrored with Svetlana later on in the episode, because again, I feel like it would have been so easy to make one of these women a villain and have them be jealous or not accepting or anything. Like, it could have gone so south, but I love that they don't do that. They treat all their female characters in this show really well. Like Elena, even Shane's mom, she's tough, she's a momager, but you can tell that she still has his best interests at heart at the end of the day. So I just love the way they treat their female characters. Chef's kiss. And I feel like it's so overdue too, because I feel like gay guys need their girls, at least from my experience of like the gay people I know and like my gay friends. Gay guys and girls are like this. A gay guy needs his girls, you know what I'm saying? But when Rose is asking Shane about if he's ever been with another guy and if it was better, and flashes to moments of them together, Shane and Ilia, I actually felt like I got shot. I was like, oh my God. I also got flashbacks to the summer I turned pretty, because doesn't that happen in like the last episode or one of the last episodes? She starts like flashing back to Conrad. I just got full body chills. That got me. I was like, oh my God, this is emotionally destroying me. And we're 7 minutes into the episode. I can't do this. What also got me was when she's asking him questions and he can't even answer. He just nods and shakes his head, because if he answers, he'll start crying. Give him the Emmy. I know they're not going to win Emmys, but if I was in charge of handing out Emmys, you get an Emmy, you get an Emmy, you get an Emmy. They are so good in the show. They are doing such good acting in the show, specifically like these last few episodes. So good. Also, the line that all of her boyfriends end up being gay because she went to theater school, so funny. I loved that. Then we get to the All-Star game. It was so funny seeing them interact in the sunlight. I was like, oh wow, like it's so bright. Like you guys are outside talking to each other. I've never seen this before. I also don't think I truly understood the term "I fucking" until I saw them sitting at that bar. Never in my life have I seen such tension through just glances and drinking beer. Like when I saw the Corona bottle, I was like, oh, I see what's going on here. I got the vibes. I'm seeing it. I genuinely was like blushing, getting flustered, seeing them looking at each other. It was crazy. The amount of tension they have. Season 2 of Bridgerton level pining we have going on here. And then they're flirting, like, oh, we're playing on the same team. Like, who knows what we have in common? Okay, flirt. And Ilia laughing at Shane getting the personal stylist. I was like, oh my God. I need to see Ilia laughing 100 times an episode. Like, to see him smile like that, I genuinely was like, thank God. Thank God my boy gets to laugh and smile even just once. I just want to see these people happy. And I thought it was so cute that Ilia was fishing so hard trying to get Shane to bring up Rose. And he's like trying to get Shane to take the bait and he won't. And then he finally is just like, so are you dating Rose Landry? Yes or no? Put me out of my misery. I thought that was so cute. Also, Connor's story is so good at what I'm assuming is improv acting. Like I would imagine that some of the stuff he does is not in the script. Like when Shane first walks into the bar and he says like okay under his breath and then he starts drinking his beer, or even when Shane pushes him against the wall in episode 2, I think 1 or 2, and he says under his breath, oh my God. And even later when he's telling Shane to put the glasses on and he goes like this, it just makes it feel so much more realistic, because that's how people talk in real life. Like they talk under their breath, or they like talk with their hands, or like touch their face and stuff. So I just love the little acting things he does like that. Also, Shane hiring a personal stylist and then wearing the ugliest outfit I've ever seen. Hysterical. It's not that bad, but it's like you hired a personal stylist to put you in a black t-shirt and a beige blazer in Florida. It's not good. And every outfit in 2017 was not good, but they could have put him in something else a little bit more fun. I'm rereading the book right now and I think he's wearing like a linen button down with blue pants or something. Even that, something like that would have been a little bit more fun. Like unbutton your shirt, let your hair down, loosen your corset. Like a beige blazer in Florida. Come on, people. I loved Ilia's shirt. People comparing Ilia's shirt to a shirt Harry Styles wore. I can't even go there. I've already gone there in every single video I've done. If you know, you know. If you've read Unbelievers, you know how I feel. Then I was so happy to get the pool scene. I said in an earlier video that I thought maybe they would cut it, but then I saw like stills from it. But still, I was very excited to see it. I thought it was super cute. Love seeing Ilia play with the kids. Loved when he gets out of the water and it's dripping down. Love, 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 love. The only thing is that in the book, he shakes his hair on him, but then also hugs Shane and like gets his clothes all wet. And in that moment, Shane is like, I can't believe you just did that. Like, what the heck? But in like a joking, fun way. Like, he's not really freaking out. I would have liked to see that because I thought it would have been really cute to see them hug like that. But it's okay. It was still incredible. And we got the helmet kiss. That helmet kiss made me feel so many things. I know that the girls in the Heated Rivalry universe were shipping them. I know that the girls in that universe were making fan edits. They were on Tumblr.com. They were on AO3, just like we are now for the show. And that universe, I know people were shipping them. And I also know that they were shipping Shane and Hayden. I just know it to be true. Their thumbs brushing in the sand, sick to my stomach. Then you get Shane asking Ilia what room number he's in. And correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like That's the only time Shane does that. Up until this point in the show, I feel like it's always Ilia asking him what room he's in. I'm probably making that up, but I don't know. It was nice to see Shane initiate that a little bit. And you can tell in the scenes after his conversation with Rose, you can just tell that he feels so much more comfortable, even if he still hasn't fully come to terms with everything. It's nice to see him just be more open and vulnerable and like open to the experience of being with Ilia. I loved seeing that shift in him. Then they finally have a conversation 8 years later. We're finally having a conversation about our feelings, about our life outside of hooking up every 6 months when we're in the same city. Finally. Took them long enough. Thank God. You have Shane coming out and saying he's gay for the first time out loud, literally ever. The one thing I don't love is that Ilia does laugh at him and kind of make fun of him, which I understand, like he's going through his own stuff, so I get it, but it just does make me sad because I know that was so hard for Shane. So for him to laugh just made me sad, even though it was funny. I'll admit it is funny, like, oh, you're gay, what made you think that? It did make me chuckle a little, even though it was also sad. Also, could Ilia have been talking louder? Like, he's literally screaming gay and Hollander so loud in this hotel room when they're at the All-Star game. Like, this hotel is crawling with media and other hockey players and all this stuff. I was like, can we use our inside voice, please? Oh my God. Good thing Scott Hunter wasn't next door this time. I'm also glad they left in the line Shane saying that being gay is one thing, but fucking your arch rival is another thing. Because in the book, Shane struggles with that a lot. Yes, he does have internalized homophobia and has to come to terms with his sexuality. But in the book, he spends so much of his time talking about how he hates that it's Ilia that he has this relationship with, Ilia specifically. And he spends the whole book trying to talk himself out of it and saying he's going to end things with him every time he sees them, and then he never does. But I liked that they included that because I feel like you maybe wouldn't realize that as much just watching the show. But Shane does really struggle with the fact that it's Ilia that he's in this relationship with. And I love Ilya Rozanov so much. I want to wrap him in a warm blanket and kiss his forehead and tell him everything's going to be okay. I just feel so maternal towards him. Both of them. I just love them so much. And it's so sad. His home life is so heartbreaking. When he turns his face away from Shane and you see the one tear go down his cheek, I actually have a stomach ache thinking about it. I'm being so serious. So fucking sad. But then you have Shane wiping his tears away, getting in his lap, kissing him on the mouth, hugging him, rocking back and forth. The most intimate moment of the show, by far. All the smut, all that. No. This was the most intimate they have ever been. I was doing the werewolf reaction meme. I was like, finally, we are getting somewhere, people. We're cooking. And then when they leave a few hours later and they call each other by their first names, I love to see it. Something about Shane Hollander, he's easy. He is so easy, real as fuck. Because if Ilia was telling me to do these things too, I would also behave this way. Him typing out the text that he can't come over before the game while he's putting his shoes on, so real. I genuinely was laughing out loud. Also, when they're in bed after that, the way he says enough questions was so boyfriend. I don't know how else to describe it. It just was so domestic. Like, it was so how you would talk to your boyfriend. Like, just enough. Like, leave me alone, please. Enough questions. I don't want to talk about it. I thought it was so cute. Even though I read the book and knew what was going to happen and knew why Ilia didn't fly to Nashville with the rest of the team, I still had such a pit in my stomach. Again, it's just so sad. Like, Ilia is just going through it and it just makes me so sad. I can't do it. But then his voicemail, I genuinely laughed out loud. Like, that was the most accurate character choice I've ever seen. This is Ilia, I won't listen to your voicemail. Genuinely so funny. The fact that this show makes me laugh out loud so often is really a testament to how good and funny it is. Like, I do not laugh out loud at shows this often. Genuinely, I end up laughing out loud multiple times every single episode. It's just so funny. This was Shane the entire episode. Sir, yes, sir. Glasses stay on. He went, done. Also, Ilia being like, the glasses stay on, real as hell. Like, it was so real. Can't say I blame him. So funny. The fact that he has to say it 3 times too. Like, he's like, no, you're not getting away with taking these glasses off. Like, the glasses stay on. I also thought that maybe they would cut the Skype scene And I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they fit it in because it was a really good scene. I liked it. And then Ilia looking around when he's at the dinner for his dad's funeral. And it's just the way it's filmed is so good. Like the zoom in on certain things and him just looking around, because you can really tell that he's looking around like this could be the last time I ever come here. Now that his father is gone, he really doesn't have any ties to Russia. And as much as he resents Russia in a lot of ways, that's also his home. You know, that's where he grew up. It's his home country. So just seeing him like looking out the window at Moscow and like looking around at dinner, you really felt like he was saying goodbye. I just cried 100 times over Ilya in this episode. I can't. His brother, F him. I'm glad we got to see the confrontation because I don't believe you really see it in the books. I think it's like mentioned, but you're not actually like there witnessing it from what I remember. So it was nice to kind of see them like duke it out and have that closure, but like just F his brother. Like I hate him so much. Sorry, goodbye. And then we have Svetlana being amazing. Already talked about her before, but great female characters in this universe. When I was reading the subtitles and it said, I hope Jane knows how lucky he is, genuinely I went, I gasped. Which, looking back, it's really not that surprising. Like, she is kind of clocking him this whole show, but just having that confirmation, I was like, oh my god. And also, thank God, because now Ilya has someone he can hopefully talk to about this, because he also had no one. I'm curious, do you guys think that Svetlana knows it's Shane Hollander, or do you think she just knows that it's a guy? Because I could see it going both ways, because she was kind of baiting him, being like, Shane Hollander, like, he's hot, you're gonna play on the same team as him, like, that's fun. But I could also see it just being like her thinking it's a guy, because if it was a girl, like, why would he hide it from her? I could see it going both ways. I'm curious what you guys think. Then we have the most romantic 10 minutes I've ever witnessed in my life with the Russia phone call. I just think that that is the sweetest, most romantic thing ever, to be like, even though I won't understand you, tell me how you're feeling in Russian. If you need to get your feelings out, I'm here to listen to you, even though I literally can't understand a word. I just think it's so romantic. I was like gentle parenting myself during this episode. I had to keep being like, they end up together, they end up together, they live happily ever after, they're in love, everything will be fine, they're gonna realize their feelings, they're together forever, like it is gonna be okay. Because I was just going through with this episode. I genuinely had to like talk myself down. Every time I would get so upset, I would have to be like, okay, let me center myself. They live happily ever after. Like I was doing positive affirmations during this entire episode. And then It's Always You, a love confession for the ages. I'm so serious. One of the best love confessions in media, period, in history. It's so good. I'm just obsessed. And it's just so, again, well acted on their parts. So good. Just obsessed. And then even at the very end, when Shane is like, oh, like, how would you say, I wish you were here? And then Ilya responds in Russian. There's just something so romantic to me about that. I can't get over it. I'm cracking up because I'm looking at my notes, and one of my notes is, I feel like I don't have that much to say about this episode because it's so perfect. Like, what am I even going to say? As I literally just yapped for like 40 minutes and I still have notes. Like, I'm only halfway through my notes. Why did I think I would have nothing to say? Okay, now I feel like the emotional, gut-wrenching scenes, for the most part, are over. So now we're kind of like, we're getting into better territory. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to get better. Thank God. Thank God. Anyway, it's like a week later, they're playing a game against each other. And kind of a side note, I know that this was low budget, and so I'm not trying to like talk shit about the production of this TV show. I genuinely think it's amazing, and they did so much with not that big of a budget. But it does make me laugh when you can tell things were filmed at the exact same time, or when they like reuse footage. I don't know, it just stands out to me every time. It makes me giggle. Like, you can tell that every hockey game that Montreal and Boston have played together were filmed in one day. Like, I don't know, it just kind of makes me laugh. But anyway, I loved watching them play hockey together. Even the little detail of Shane looking up during the face-off at Ilia and not just looking down, because every time he's just looking down, focused on hockey, focused on the puck, and then you finally see him look up and smile at Ilia, and just to see them smiling at each other during the game and just having so much fun, like, healed my heart. However, I'm a dumbass because I somehow completely forgot about the accident, even though I've mentioned so many times how excited I was to see that scene. For some reason, just with everything else going on in the episode, I just completely forgot about it, and I was not thinking about it at all. So when it actually happened, it got me. I was like, no, because I wasn't thinking about it at all. I don't know why. And ouch, like that looked like it hurt. I think when I read it in the book, it just wasn't as intense. Like I kind of just was like, oh, he bumps into him and he falls, but no, that was a smack. I'm curious, I wonder if I could Google this, like how many miles per hour they're going when they're skating, because they're fast. So it does make sense that that would be a really hard hit. Ouch, like oof, I felt that one in my bones. And the fact that he gets hit because he's turning around to smile at Ilia, I actually can't do it. Originally, when I watched the scene, I was very upset that they took out the line, Ilia, they can see us. Because I think that is such a good line, and it's like one that really stuck out to me from the book, and I was really, really excited to see him say that. Since then, I have seen people talking about it and explaining that that probably wouldn't translate well to a show because it would have been so obvious, like the way Ilia reacts in the book and Shane saying that, people would hear it, it would be very obvious. So I do get why they changed it now, even though I was initially upset. It would have been so nice if they could have kept the line in, but I do now get why they changed it. So I'm like, okay, I get it. And also people were saying that when he says Ilia, they can see us, that's coming from a place of fear, where the tell him I'm hurt because he'll get worried comes from a place of love. So I do like that change, even though I was initially disappointed. I also really like the addition of the announcers in this show, specifically this episode, when Shane is hurt and Ilia won't get off the ice, and they're like, oh, you know, these guys, they have a rivalry, but obviously they've been playing together for a long time, and there's a lot of admiration there. I really liked that, and we'll talk about this later, but I really like the inclusion of the announcers at the end of the episode as well. I think it's just a really nice touch. Like, I just really enjoy every time they have the announcers talking, and it adds to the storyline. Shane in the hospital, that boy was high as a kite. They gave him the good shit. That was so funny. Again, we get it, they're good actors. I know I have to shut up, but the acting in that scene is so good. They are just naturals. They are such naturals. Everything feels so realistic. I'm just obsessed with their performances in these episodes, because the way Shane, just that whole scene, just the way he delivers every line is so good. I love when Ilia first walks in and Shane's like, Ilia. I swear he is saying Ilia with a Russian accent. Maybe it's just my brain rot fully setting in, but I swear when he said it, it sounded kind of Russian in his like drugged up baby voice. Like, it sounded Russian, I swear. So cute. And then even when he's like, come here, and then they hold hands and he's like, better. And then of course the will you come to my cottage this summer, so funny. And then when the nurse walks in and he's like, oh no, that again made me laugh out loud. The way he's like, oh no. It's so funny. And it's so cute when Ilia is leaving and he's like, shh. Like, he's like, Shane, like, don't spill the beans, okay? Oh, or when the nurse walks in and Shane's like doing his like loved up baby voice, and then he's like, see you next season. He had to lock in real quick. They are just such cutie pies. Like, I'm just obsessed with them. Then we have the last like 6 minutes of this episode. Cinema. I knew the scene was going to be good. I was so excited to see it. They have not let me down so far. It's not like I thought it was going to be bad. It somehow completely exceeded my expectations. Like, it was so good. You know when people watch the Super Bowl and they're like, that was how I was watching the last 5 minutes of this episode. I have never felt that way before in a TV show. Oh my god, so good. The song choice, incredible. One of the best song choices in TV. I'll die on that hill. It was perfect. And just being able to see the emotions play out on Scott's face, and to see Scott looking up at Kip, it was just it was perfect. It was so perfect. It was so good. And one thing I loved about the song is, if you haven't rewatched every episode 6 times like I have, maybe you didn't pick up on this, but that's the song that's playing when you first see Scott and Kip meet. Like, when Scott is like running and is about to meet Kip, that song is playing, just the instrumental. So I loved that they did that. They did a little callback, gave them like a little theme song. Loved how that came full circle. Also, when they showed Kip and he was wearing the jacket of 2017, genuinely every person I know in 2017 had that jacket. Like the jacket and the black jeans, that is historically accurate costuming. I was like, oh yes, I know exactly what time period we're in right now just from that jacket. And I loved the way that it was flashing between it happening in real life and then them watching it on TV. Just the way that that all kind of was like flashing back and forth and like coming in and out, I thought was so good. And just so like him waving him down and like him walking and like dragging him on the ice, and then you can like see them watching it through the TV and you see Scott like talking and like shaking his head, and like then you just see them kiss, and the kiss is so perfect, and the hug that they do after they kiss, 10 out of 10 no. It's like genuinely, it was so good. So I actually said I was going to talk about the announcers later for the end of the episode, and then I completely forgot. But what I wanted to say is that I love the announcers during the Scott and Kip kiss. How they say like, good for Scott Hunter, good for him, like the crowd's loving this. I just loved that. I thought it was such a cute little addition to that scene. I was curious how that all came to be. In the book, there's no big time jump for Scott and Kip. It's just they meet, they like date for a few months, they, you know, they separate, and then they reconcile all within like 6 months or something. So it makes sense that Kip would be at that game because they're back together. But in the show, they don't show you anything from the last time you saw them, which was 3 years ago in Showtime. So I was curious what happened there. What I'm assuming is at some point during this 3 years, they reconcile and just have been in a secret relationship, and that's why Kip is at the game. But I'm just curious, like, how that all came to be. I wonder if we will ever get to see more Scott and Kip. Like, maybe we'll get another episode in the future, or what, if they're just gonna, like, leave it at that. I'm curious how that all came to be with such a big time jump in that relationship. Also, Kip's dad, I would die for him. I think he's so cute. The look on his face when he sees Scott waving Kip down, he's like, girl, go get your man. Like, that was so cute. It's just incredible. Emmys, Oscars, Tonys, give Jacob Tierney an EGOT right now. Even the camera work, the way that the cameras are swinging, and you can tell that this moment is truly like shaking up everybody's lives, Scott and Kip and Shane and Ilia. And Shane and Ilia's faces watching this kiss, perfection. You have Shane being like, oh my god, this is an option for me, like, oh my god, that changes everything. And then you have Ilia being like, Shane's fine, say less, like, if that's an option, consider it done. Just so good. It was just perfect. It really was perfect. One of the best 6 minutes of television I've ever seen in my life. It was so good. My heart was pounding. I was crying. Like, I genuinely incredible. And then you have, of course, I'm Coming to the Cottage. Who else cheered? What are we packing for the cottage? How are you guys getting there? Do you want a carpool? Should we take the bus? I think I'm going to bring a couple bathing suits in case, you know, one's wet. What are the vibes? I have never been more excited for an episode of television than the cottage. I am so excited. I don't have any sick days left. If I did, I would call out Friday so that I could just stay home and watch the episode. Like, it is that serious. It is that serious to me. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be so good. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week for episode 6. I'm sure that I will also have a lot to say about that episode. I'm thinking about doing like a live reaction video for that episode, but I don't know like logistically how to do that because you can't screen record streaming services usually. So I might have to do like a 1, 2, 3 movies situation. I don't know if that is going to be possible, but I think I'm going to try and do that because I think, of course, my battery dies when I have literally 1 minute of filming left. But yes, I think I'm going to try and do like a reaction video as well as a recap. I think that would be really fun, but no promises in case I can't figure it out. Like always, please sound off in the comments because I love talking to you guys in the comments. It's so fun. Everyone has such good insights and theories and reactions. It's just so much fun. If you want to find me anywhere else, I'll have all my other social medias linked down below as always. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the finale.